Today, we're going to look at from Big Bad Workshop and Operation Monster Force, Count Dracula. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something that we have literally been waiting for over a year for. A whole year. It has been a year and about a month to the day. Now, this one is kind of a blind buy. They a year and a month ago, they put these up for pre-order, and I thought they looked cool, so I thought, well, I'll buy one. I'll pre-order one. When I get it, if I like it, I'll order more. But this is Count Dracula from Operation Monster Force from Big Bad Workshop. Now, Big Bad Workshop is Big Bad Toy Store's very own toy manufacturing company, and they use fresh monkey fiction. I'm sure Big Bad Toy Store had an idea. They handed it over to Fresh Monkey Fiction, and they put it into story form. To me, it looks like it's written in comic book form, but it looks pretty good, and just reading about it sounds pretty exciting. So when we see and hear the name Count Dracula, which we see right here on the side of this box, we think bad. Now, it seems like in this story, in this fictional universe, a fella by the name of Declan, I think it's Declan or Declan Van Helsing. Yes, he is from the famous Van Helsing family that were vampire hunters. Well, he's come down the line, and he has been tasked by the military to destroy a pharaoh, an Egyptian pharaoh called the Forgotten King. He was so vile and so evil that his name was erased from Egyptian history. The Forgotten King has come back to life, and Declan Van Helsing has been tasked with destroying the Forgotten King. And what does Declan Van Helsing do? He decides that I would probably have a better chance of beating this Forgotten King with another monster. You know, as we hear, it takes one monster to kill another monster. So Declan Van Helsing opens Tomb 13, which houses the most powerful vampire of all time, Count Dracula. So Declan and Count Dracula are going to team up to try to go destroy the Forgotten King. That does sound pretty good to me anyways. I definitely am intrigued by it. But the military was sending troops in to try to kill this Forgotten King. And, of course, the Forgotten King, he's an all-powerful pharaoh, a sorcerer. So he would destroy the soldiers and turn them into zombies. And they would be under his control and under his power. And he's building his own army with these soldiers that he's reanimated into zombies. So that's why Declan Van Helsing has to go get the help of Dracula, because if you're already undead, you can't make them zombies. So it sounds like Count Dracula, since he's undead, will not be affected by the Pharaoh's sorceries, reanimating these people into his soldiers. So we're going to go ahead and check out the packaging here. Operation Monster Force right there, and this big picture of one of our heroes. Yes, it's weird to say hero when we say Count Dracula. One of our heroes of the story. On this side, you get Operation Monster Force. You get a 4 there, a Roman numeral 4. Not sure what that means. Count Dracula there. Fresh Monkey Fiction there, and freshmonkeyfiction.com right there. So there is a website if you want to go visit that. The other side, the same exact thing. And the top, Operation Monster Force, we get our Big Bad Toy Store logo right there, ages 17 and over, choking hazards. The bottom, 0 to 3, absolutely not. No, no, no. So that's it other than the back. Now, the back is huge. Lots of verbiage on there. So, and we also have this awesome cross sell. Collect them all. Complete your Operation Monster Force collection at www.bigbadtoystore.com. And we have the Clon Van Helsing. We have Delta Red Urban Operations Trooper, Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper, the Forgotten King, Sleepwalker Heavy Weapons Division, Sleepwalker Crimson Moon Division, and Sleepwalker Obsidian Elite Guardsmen. So it looks like a lot of troop builders there, army builders. So I would read this, but I think I'm just going to put this. It's really long. It says the Forgotten King has returned, but it's kind of a rundown of what I've kind of explained about Monster Force already. So I will take a screenshot of this, and you can pause the video if you would like to read about it. But opening up the flap, look at this. We open it up, and there is indeed a comic book right there. And then we get our action figure right here, which looks really good in there. He looks pretty tough. I think he's going to be able to go with, not sure if he's going to go with our Universal Monsters. He might be, he is 1/12 scale, so he will probably go really well with our G.I. Joe classified line. But yeah, it says Count Dracula down there, and they do have 2 points of Velcro right here to hold that shut. But we are going to take him from the bottom. Let's get him out of here. And there it is. The plastic is cut. A year and a month in the waiting. Get in there, wiggle that open. Here we go. Packaging, the box design seems pretty good. It's really close to our Ultimates, maybe not as fancy, but kind of close. And I think there's a backdrop. Will the backdrop come out? Let's see. Yes. So that is it. Nothing else in there. I don't believe. Yeah, nothing else in there, just our comic. And this is your backdrop. Nothing fancy, nothing fancy. Kind of a purple and black backdrop. We'll sit that up there. And here is Dracula in his plastic coffin. And you get a stand, which is awesome, and an accessory which looks like a sword. So we'll go through that. We're going to open our bag, and it is a Ziploc baggie, which that is nice. And there is a stand in here, and it says Operation Monster Force. Very nice. Pretty nice. So your stand, and check it out. It even says who it is. So that's really cool. Really cool. Imagine if NECA would have gave that for all our figures up there. That would have been really cool to see that right on there. So Count Dracula's stand. And then we get a big sword. Look at that, baby. That is pretty cool. Got some dragons on there. And it's got some paint apps. It's silver blade, kind of a gold handle here. And it's got a dragon head at the very end. And then these two dragons right here on either side of the blade. So really nice. And that's it on our accessories other than hands. And we get one extra head. So check that out. They did give us an accessory cap. So that'll hold them all in, keep the hands from going around. So we'll go through the first set of hands is going to be a left and a right gripping hand. And these hands are pretty good. You can see some skin on there. You can see the knuckles. You can see the claws, the long fingernails of Count Dracula. Pretty cool. It almost looks like he's got a trigger finger there. Is that a trigger finger? Is there some accessory packs maybe we can get with this guy where we can put a gun into Count Dracula's hand? I don't know. I hope so. But that is definitely gripping and kind of a trigger finger. Next, we've got two fists, a left and a right fist for Count Dracula. And these are kind of a gray complexion to it. So, of course, Dracula is the undead. And then we get a left and a right kind of coming out to get you hands right here. So really cool, really cool. So 3 extra sets of hands, and then, of course, you got the hands that came with the guy. Now, we do have, check this out, these are actual twist ties. So you can put this guy back and reattach him if you would like. Haven't seen this in a long time with any kind of toys. But yeah, twist them up, pull them out. There you go. And if you want, you can tie your guy back down. But he does stay in there pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, he will come out of there. He's not totally formed in there. All right, we will look at his extra head first. He's got some long hair and some teeth showing, and there's a snarl by Count Dracula. It's pretty cool. I like how they've gone out on their own and they haven't made it trying to look like Bela Lugosi or any of our other Dracula performers from Hollywood. So totally their own thing. And here he is. Let's pull him out. Count Dracula has been resurrected. Oh boy, in hand, it feels pretty good. There's that. That is empty. All right, now we're going to take a look at him. We'll step through articulation. Head does not look up. That long hair stops it. He does look down pretty good. You go left and he'll go right. Let's see how easy this is to... Comes off pretty nice. Got a pretty good ball joint on there. So very nice so far. Pops back on good. We get a double butterfly in there. We have a double butterfly. So that is pretty cool. That's getting you way back there. So we're really close to like G.I. Joe classified stuff. That is a lot of movement there. Look at that. So double butterfly. It's been a long time. We have an upper arm cut. That shoulder will go all the way around, by the way. Plus you have the upper arm cut. You have very tight, let's see, tight double jointed wrist. Now one of my first joint, the one closest to the tricep, is not wanting to bend. So I may have to heat that up. We'll try the other side. Okay, the other side did break away. So you got double jointed elbows. So really nice so far. It feels pretty fluid. I mean, it is not as good as your G.I. Joe classified so far, but it's pretty daggone close. Pretty daggone close. Now we have gripping hands, and we have wrist articulation, not a bunch, because he does have this shirt, the cuff of his shirt is stopping, but they do go all the way around. Let's see how easy these pop off. Really nice. Got a pretty good ball joint on there. So we'll pop that back on. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now, I have had a subscriber say his was shipped with where his nose was having paint, I think, rubbed off by maybe pushing down, and it's so close to the packaging. But mine is not. Mine looks okay, and he was not smashed down to where that plastic on the box was pushing against his face. So we have this coat, this jacket here is not sculpted on, so it's going to be hard to feel. I'm not sure if there is an ab crunch in there, and it's going to be probably impossible to tell, but there let's see, is that a hula hoop waist for sure. And it's hard to tell if there's an ab crunch. I don't think there is. Now, our hips, let's see, he's got pretty good splits. I think those babies could go pretty high. Now, this is a really pliable plastic on this coat. Now we got straddles pretty good. There is indeed an upper thigh cut, and this hip on there can rotate pretty good. And then you got the upper thigh cut, like I mentioned. You got double jointed knees. Double jointed knees, so very good. And then we have an upper boot cut. So that's good. And then we get a really good ankle rocker there. And check this out. This Count Dracula can pirouette. Check that out. He can pirouette all the way. All right, that's it for articulation. Now, I believe it calls it 20 points of articulation. So that's what that should be, 20 points. But, okay, I've messed with this thing pretty well, and it doesn't seem to want to come apart. I say the only thing so far stopping is this double jointed elbow on his right side, the one closest to his tricep here. But that's it. I'm sure once I got it. It broke free. So there we go. So we got all of our joints loose now, and that's not bad. If you're a collector, you'll know what I mean, that if you have double jointed, sometimes one of those just does not want to break, but you mess with it enough, or you may have to put some heat on it, get your wife's hair dryer and just blow on there some hot air, and it usually will break. And indeed, this one did just by moving around. All right, let me look at this face sculpt. Now, this is a closed mouth face sculpt, hair pulled back, a little over shoulder length. Looks good. I like it. I am so glad that they didn't try to make it look like one of our Hollywood Count Draculas like Bela Lugosi or Gary Oldman. They went their own style. I really, really like that. And if you was to hand me this and say, what monster is this based off of, I would probably say Count Dracula, maybe an elf, some kind of elf, but with a Victorian era garb on. That looks like Count Dracula. So the coat is pretty good. It's not as detailed as I would think, but you got to figure, I mean, they're not NECA, they're not Mattel, they're not, they're just trying to get into this toy making business other than just selling toys. So I really appreciate them doing this, and I think this could take off. If we get a cartoon or something made, well, I think we might have something here, because the idea of this is awesome, where Count Dracula is a good guy. Yeah, jacket's pretty decent. I kind of like it. The pants all the way down here looks good, all black. He's got leather boots on. Kind of looks like riding boots, maybe horse riding boots, but calf high, looks good. And check this out. He has a hole for a possible backpack or something on there. So I really am wondering if they're going to come out with some accessory packs for these guys. That would be really cool, because we have this trigger finger right here, and I would love to see Count Dracula have some kind of big giant crossbow or something. That would be really cool. So Count Dracula as a good guy going after the Forgotten King with Declan Van Helsing. I think I'm going to go ahead and order the Forgotten King and Declan Van Helsing next. And those should get here pretty soon, because those are listed as in stock on Big Bad Toy Store. So I like it. I like it. I really do. Is it perfect? No. But it's a heck of a good job for your first action figure in a line. I mean, this is really early, and I'm sure as they move along, they can tweak things. But really, other than details, as far as like facial details, your wrinkles, and that we have in our like NECA figures, those are unbelievable. But I mean, and I'm not saying they have to get to that point. This is more like your G.I. Joe Classified. Maybe a little less than that, but pretty good. Now the price point of these, I believe, are $36.99. So they're a little more expensive, but I mean they have to start somewhere, and hopefully if they sell more and more, they'll be able to lower these prices just a tad. I'm not saying they're going to get down to $32 or even $24 like our G.I. Joe Classified are, but you're looking at $10 or $12 more than a G.I. Joe Classified. All right, to compare with this Operation Monster Force, I am going to bring out G.I. Joe Classified Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Now, this ought to be pretty interesting to see how these size up with G.I. Joe. Can we have Operation Monster Force and G.I. Joe Classified in the same universe? This would be awesome. Let's see. Here he is, and look at that. Perfect. Perfect. So this is a really nice surprise. So can you imagine Snake Eyes and Count Dracula teaming up to join the Clan Van Helsing to go fight these Monster Force figures? So when we get these army build figures, this is going to be nice. Now let's check out him with our Count Dracula. So yeah, way out of scale here. So these are considered 1/12 scale, and these are considered 7-inch scale now. But that's pretty cool. This is really a good thing that these two can coexist. So man, this is awesome. Really good. I'm happy about that. For Operation Monster Force, 2 thumbs up. I like it. I do. I like it. I like the originality of it. Let's see how he fits on his stand. Very nice. Fits on that stand really good. I like that. Looks really good. Let's get his sword in his hand. How does this fit in here? Let's see. See, his fingers are a little pliable. You want to be careful not to break his sword. Almost a double-handed sword. I think you could get both hands on there if you wanted. There you go. Check it out. Awesome. Looks really good. Count Dracula coming after the Forgotten King. Now let's try to get this hand. We'll take this hand off and put one of his coming to get you hands. There you go. Look at that. And then if this doesn't work, he can punch it with his fist over here. So he is getting ready for battle right here. And now let's get him in battle. We'll pop this head off. Put this head on. And now this is, if you're going to display this guy on a shelf, that's how you're going to display it, with that face right there. Oh, baby, that looks good. Really good. Holy cow. Now, you are getting a few wrinkles now on this. Now that I'm looking at it, I see some crow's feet over here, some forehead wrinkles. Looks good. I'm happy with it. I am pleasantly surprised. I really am. I think I'm going to take another. I'm going to dip my toe in a little deeper. I do believe in getting the Clan Van Helsing and the Forgotten King. Maybe I'll even throw in one of the army builders. But this is pretty good. Let's try a trigger finger, which I think is a trigger finger. I can't wait to dig into this. I'm going to have to get on there and see if there's accessory packs. There just might be. But yeah, trigger finger on Count Dracula. This is awesome. I'm getting excited about it. I really am. But that's going to be it for Operation Monster Force and Count Dracula. Until next time, oh yeah.